eyeshadow speed round. Let's go, shall we? Starting up with the shade Hazelnut. I use this above the crease but below the brown bone to start the gradient. Using a crease brush to go ahead and sweep this back and forth so that we've got a nice base to start with. Next up, going in with a crease brush again, choosing the shade Adobe, like do we need a PDF viewer, and using this somewhat in the crease area below where it is that I used the hazelnut color to begin that gradient and that orange transition. Next up, going in with my first lid shade, I chose Sandstone because it's a nice good peachy color, but also in the middle of doing this look it just didn't have enough color payoff for me, yet it still set the tone for what is to come. Using a shader brush, I went ahead and applied this, pat this all over, only blended in where the Adobe color ended. Then I go in with another color, this terracotta color, which is very nice, and layer that on top of the sandstone color. And you see that there's a lot more payoff there. Now going in with a crease brush and going in with the shade Cocoa to add a little bit of dimension to help smoke out this color, or this look I should say. Also, for the sake of time, I do not do lashes or eyeliner or my bottom lid on camera. But adding that cocoa color helps to give it a good gradient, but it's still just a smidgen too dark for me, so I go back in with, I believe that was terracotta, and layer that on top to help blend the two together. Now I am going in with ochre and a detail brush and adding that nice good yellow to the inner third of my eye. Inner corner area, yes, but not completely tight on the inner corner. Just enough to where you can tell I do want some hint of golden there. Hoping to blend the two together. And then here I messed up. I think, because I went so quickly, I think I'm using Adobe to help clean up any harsh edges. Now using my fingertip, I'm going in with Peach, patting that onto my fingertip, and then pressing that all over the orangish section of my lid. Isn't that lovely? And then last but not least, with the detail brush, going in with Copper to do my patented, actually it's not patented, but famous inner corner highlight. What you think?
Say I won't take my ass to the DMV and renew my license looking just like this. Say I won't. Bitch, I will. Fight me. Me glamorous as a motherfucker in my driver's license picture. Listen, the glow up has to be ridiculous because you're going to be looking at that picture for the next 6 years. So watch me take my ass to the DMV just like this in full summer goddess mode. Fight me. What's good? How you doing? It's your girl D, back with another video. So as you saw from the haul video and the little sneak peek, I picked up the new Sephora Pro palette. Oh snap, bra strap. The new Sephora Pro palette. Everybody was dying about the warm one. I figured let me be different and get the cool tone one first. You know, go ahead and give y'all a review for that. Now, let's go ahead and get this warmth going. You know, since I did have this nice headband, I haven't worn in a while. So, and this way, like, come through. One of my girls in my makeup group gave me this last year. Just was like, you know what? I love you and I want you to have this because I was admiring it on somebody else. And she went ahead and told my friend who I did something beautiful for. And it was just like a random act of kindness. So, girl, thank you. I finally was able to just go ahead and get this mug out. And we just... Listen. I could steal somebody's day just like this. I could steal somebody's day without the flowers. I could steal somebody's day without the makeup, but it's okay. It's all right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to steal your attention for these next few minutes while we look at this palette. Okay? Okay. So, Sephora Pro 28 beautiful. Ooh. Ooh, that's a screenshot right there. Oh. Okay, sorry. All right. I don't wear long hair very often, so I gotta feel myself for a second. All right, we're back. 28 shades, 3 finishes, mattes, shimmers, and creams. This is a very heavy palette. You're gonna get, let's see, what, 0.4 ounces of product per shade. And yes, you can see my conglomerate of mess in front of me. It's okay. We just finished filming a face, all right? But there you go. The shades do have names on a nice little plastic decal. So I'm going to bring you swatches and initial thoughts. In using this, when I first played with it in Sephora, I didn't get as much fallout as I did today. And that's with a lot of the matte shades. Some of the creams, good, solid. The mattes were not streaky. You do have to build up some coverage. And what I am going to give you are brush swatches. I don't feel like digging my fingers in ridiculously. So we're going to go row by row. For those who are mathematically challenged, row by row, we're starting horizontally and then going on downward. Brush swatches. Per my usual, you ain't gonna see me hold up the palette and keep swatching, okay? Okay. So first up, this first row is called Canvas, or this first shade is called Canvas. And that would be a good transitional shade. It reminds me a lot of just a very light vanilla. I'm not going to necessarily, normally I go in on these light shades and call them ashy, but these are not chalky. These really aren't. Next up, slightly darker than that, more of a taupe, is Oat. I consider oats to be a little bit more brown than that, but whatever. After that is Biscotti. This is a nice peach matte. Then after that is Camel, which is as accurate of a description as we're going to get. After Camel is Ochre, O-C-H-R-E. This is a nice, good matte yellow, and I use this in this look. After Ochre is Saddle. Saddle is, I don't know how you want to describe it. Not as peach as the other one, more on the khaki side. And after Saddle, last in this row is Auburn, which is a nice, good, muted brown. So again, Canvas, Oat, biscotti, camel, ochre, saddle, and auburn. All right, moving on to the next row. That first row was all mattes. The second row is some creams and some mattes. Starting off with sand. Oh, that is gorgeous. It's interesting because in the pan, it looks like it would be a creamy vanilla, but it is swatching, like it looks like there's color shift in here. It's swatching with a gold undertone. After this is brass. Ooh, yes. Truly representative of its name. I'm sorry, my leg itches. Truly representative of its name. After brass is clay. This reminds me more of like red clay soil. You know, when you're digging around, all that shit. That's what that reminds me of. After clay is oh, I was gonna say, please don't break, little brush. After clay is copper. Now, this doesn't remind me of a true... Oh, wait, no, I lied. Never mind. Color shift. Shit. Dual toned. It looks gold in the pan. Yeah, there's some copper right there. There's some copper. Like a bronze, like third place a little bit. Oh, that's gonna be beautiful to layer. And that's one thing I do like about these shades, is that you can layer them and you get beautiful results. After copper is bronze. Yeah, okay. So copper has more brown in it. Bronze is a true bronze. They both look kind of interchangeable, but there is a slight difference. Hey. All right, after that is a matte color. Now, is it Adobe? Is there a PDF nearby? Different shade of orange. And then after that is another brighter orange. This is sandstone. And that is every bit of just, yes, here for it. All right, next row, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes, a shimmer, and another cream. So this next matte is hazelnut. Good brown girl friendly transition shade. Reminds me a lot of one of the shades in a Kat Von D palette, in the Metal Matte palette. Couldn't remember which one. After hazelnut is khaki. Oh shit, that really is khaki. Brown with some yellow undertones in there. After khaki is peach. Now this one is quite interesting because it's not necessarily a solid color. And it's hard, I may have to give you a finger swatch on this one. It's not necessarily a solid color. It's more sheer with little bits of glitter in there. So that was an actual finger swatch because the brush was not picking that up at all. And actually when I applied that color for this look, I did use my fingertip. After peach is brick. Ooh, this red. Ooh, are you the same? A little bit. Had to get a little bit more product on there to get you a good decent swatch. Okay. After brick is terracotta. Deep burnt orange. After terracotta is burnt umber, which is a kind of a mix between brown and burgundy. It looks like one of the shades in the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. And then after Burnt Umber is Chestnut. Now, for me, I think of chestnut as a more brown than anything else. This has brown in it, but like little hints of violet, I suppose. I don't know. But there you go. Again, hazelnut, khaki, peach, brick, terracotta, burnt umber, and chestnut. Final row, we've got another shimmer, matte, and a cream. This shimmer, hey, brown sugar, hi, oh, damn. That is not visible at all. Yeah, I think this is another one that you need to apply with your fingertip. Like, you can see where I tried to get it. So yeah, that is a chocolate brown with some silver and gold sparkle in there. But yeah, that ain't showing up for shit. Sorry. It would show up on someone who's not as chocolate as me. So you might get more color payoff there. Next up is caramel. And this doesn't look like caramel sauce to me. The clay shade looks more or closer to caramel than anything else. So there's caramel. After caramel is sepia, which looks damn identical to this caramel shade. But just a little bit more ash than anything else. After sepia is coconut shell. Ooh, this looks pretty. Ooh, it is pretty. Coconut shell. Oh yes, I love that. That's gonna be a great lid shade with one of these chocolate browns as your crease and a gold as the inner highlight. Oh, I'm already planning looks. Come through. After coconut shell is cocoa, and this does look every single bit like a hot cocoa. Bam! Yes, hot cocoa. After cocoa is cedar, which is a, even though it's a, oh gosh. Yeah, that, can you see it? Can you see it? Is it there? A little bit. And then after cedar is obsidian. Now, one thing I do have to respect about all three of the Pro palettes, they all have a black in there. Not streaky in any way, shape, or form. I have to say the mattes all perform very, very well. So anyways, from what I have researched, Sephora actually collaborated with 15 different makeup artists to create this palette, or to create the 3 Pro palettes as it is, to give you a good high quality design. Gosh, that's unfortunately a lot of fallout. Great pigmentation, a lot of fallout, unfortunately. I did have to dust off a little bit. So here you go. They all are great. Again, you're going to get 4 ounces per shade. This is the warm collection. They have the cool collection, which I will bring you next. And then after the cool collection, I will bring you the editorial collection, which is all the fun, bright, crazy shades. Cannot wait to get that one. Retails for $68. Now, the reason why this one is so hype is because the Natasha Denona was what? I think 130, 140, something ridiculous. And this is 68. So yes, it is higher end for Sephora, but also at the same time, you're still getting more shades than what's in the Natasha Denona, and also at almost half the value. So it's very much worth it. Now, one thing I'm as a consumer, and this was also an impulse buy, one thing I am going to tell you is, as much as I love makeup and as much as I am a collector, and as much as you guys apparently in the comments are living vicariously through me, you don't need this. You don't need this. Unless you don't have any eyeshadow whatsoever. Like none. You don't have any eyeshadow, period. This is good. If you have nothing in your collection, then get this, because it is great for the price point. There are a lot of other name brands out there that are not going to give you that same level of quality, because I think the Metal Matte palette was $60 and it was 20 to 22 shades with mattes and shimmers in there. But this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This is a good quality item to have. It is not a necessity, with the exception of I do know I have some makeup artist friends. I would actually recommend this over the Smashbox Masterclass palette. I recommend this over that, because the Smashbox, even though it's a great concept, another one of my friends on YouTube was in the comments talking about how it looks complicated, pretty but complicated, because you can interchange those little reels and everything. This is just straight up simple. It's got a gigantic ass mirror in here, so you can see your whole face, not just your eyes, but your whole face. And it's just, I'm really impressed with this. I really am. So again, $68 from Sephora. It also comes with a little glamour guide, so you can create different looks with it. 4 different looks to use as... You don't stop making me super damn bright. 4 different looks to use as examples, and they also give pro tips too, like to brighten your eye look, simply saturate your Sephora long lasting kohl pencil inside the waterline. Or another one, to neutralize the eyelid from discoloration, apply your lid and liner primer all over the lid. Okay, hang on, that ain't a pro tip, that's common motherfucking sense, Sephora. Everybody should know you do not put on eyeshadow unless you use some type of eyeshadow primer. That is standard. I just did this. When working with multiple warm tones, go back and brighten with the lightest color in key areas to create a more dimensional blend, like the outsides of the lash line or the edges of the crease. I did that on the inner. When blending, consider the direction of the blend. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know about these pro tips, because I'm very much not a makeup artist, but some of that shit I knew. Anyways, so these are limited edition. These are not a permanent part of the Sephora line. So they're also not supposed to launch just yet. They are available online. I got mine in store, with the exception of the editorial. The editorial is not in store just yet. At least not in my local store. Speaking of, shout out to my girls at Sephora Independence. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Anyways, they are supposed to be out. This is part of Sephora's fall launch, because you know makeup companies are weird and put out shit a season early. It's literally summer. Part of Sephora's fall launch, releasing I believe in 2 weeks officially. And so if you are interested in getting this, get your hands on it quick, because they are going fast. As high as they are, it's still a great value, but as high as they are going fast. Anyways, as always, thank you ever so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any questions or suggestions, hit your girl up in the comments section. If you are new here, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you back on my channel. But if you're not here for me, my shenanigans, my opinions, this long ass video, this beautiful ass beat, or flagrant use of the word motherfucker, that's fine. There is an X in that corner for you to click, get your life, and get the entire fuck up off my channel. But if you are here for my shenanigans, you are beautiful, amazing, wonderful, spectacular. And if no one else has told you, I appreciate you. I was dead ass serious though, because like my birthday's coming up and I have to renew my license. I really am going to go to the DMV with this beat, recreate this shit, and go renew my license and dare somebody to fuck with me. telling you, the glow up is real. All right, that's all for now. I'm going to go edit this and go to bed. Love y'all. Mwah. Have a wonderful night.